Hey guys, welcome back. I've just doing the other video now, just editing it. Whilst that's going, this storm is coming and then it just missed us. So yeah, haven't had any rain. So it's only around 4 o'clock. So I thought I'll get into it for another couple of hours. So what I'm doing now, I've got the Melomotive spline. I don't know which number it is, but it's probably only about 2 mil thick. I've gone from 120 down to 220. I wasn't sure how it's going to go, but this is absolutely brilliant. So this side here, I've got a bit of poly primer on it, so it's useless really. So I use that side for grip, and then this side, I just put the good 220 on it. So beauty of this spline is it's got heaps of flex in it. So although it flexes, but it maintains the panel shape. So I've just started on it. I should have been filming, but I didn't. So what I've been doing, getting hot like this, just nice and flat. But I've been doing this like so, and I do cross sections. Keep away from that edge because I have to build this up, because as I was telling you before, last video, there's a nice body line comes along and it sort of blends in here, and it should blend in further up towards the corner there. So I'll leave that until later. But I've done here, there's a low there, so that'll need some fill. I can see metal starting to come through, so I'll stop straight away. So I'll just blow that down there. Should have dust mask on, but I'm just blowing it straight out that door. So I'll just show you, I'll leave the camera there, but there's little lows here and there, across there, that if I continue on where I'm going, it'll just get better. So I've just finished blocking it down with 220. You just see metal starting to come through there, so I stopped. But overall, there's only tiniest little spots. There was one spot here, but I just persisted and kept sanding, and it come out. But still little tiny little things like that. I really don't want to use that poly over top of it again, because it just comes out so orange peely. I could use 10% reducer and might help, but it's not always a good idea to mix and match products. Like, you try to use the same product, although I'm not going to be using the Resto Finish color paint on it, or clear. So I prefer to use the Sparlak primer filler. It's not a polyester. It hasn't got the building properties of poly, but the best part about using this other primer, I can thin it right out and put it on, and it comes out really smooth. And that way you just give it a quick hit again. I might even go to 400 next, I don't know, but probably just do 220 again. So what I'll do now, I'll just have a look and see how it come out. So I've got this thing again. I expect it to be pretty good. So let's have a look. Probably hard to tell. Yeah, it's difficult to tell with the GoPro, but I can see now that it's pretty damn straight. It looks really nice. Yeah, it doesn't look good for the GoPro, but I'll tell you what, looking at it, looking at the reflection, it looks really nice. So that's what you want. Nice, even, smooth, no highs or lows. And see here, you can just see metal under there. You just pull it straight up. But yeah, I'll need filler in there, but it's all right. But yeah, you can see it now, it's starting to evaporate. See how you get the reflection. It's difficult to tell. But yeah. So it's only 4:30 now, so it's only taken me probably half an hour to block that back. Takes a little bit longer with 220, but it's worth it. You just got to be confident knowing that you got it pretty straight, because the 220, if it's got a really high and a low, it's going to sort of blend in over it. And this might actually flex to it. So I knew it was pretty straight. There's only little spots here and there that come up, but you look at that there, it's amazing. So what I'll do now, I'll do the bottom section. I'll do all around here. I won't do that. I'll leave that to last. But I'll be paying attention, because this is a problem area in the past, so I'll have to be really careful. See what comes out, because the splines, they definitely bring out all the nasties, all the areas that you thought were pretty good. This will bring it out, expose everything. So this has come out really good. So we'll see how the bottom comes out. Tell you what, it's bloody hard yakka doing this blocking. If you want to lose weight, yeah, it's definitely the way to burn the calories. Good. So I've done the bottom now. I've done it with 220, and it's like I didn't put enough coats on. It's weird. It's like there's metal coming up everywhere. Here, there, here. It's just coming up everywhere. So it just comes to show that you know, there's really isn't a lot of filler on there. Over here there was a fair bit. But yeah, it's just surprising how much it's coming up. So I used this one for doing in here, in there, nice curved area, and in here, and then I used this other one in there to do in there, and it's come out really good. There's only little things here and there. It's coming out. I have to do there again. Yep. There's got to be done. I haven't touched here. I'll leave that. I'll just, before I put another coat of poly, I'll scuff this up obviously so it adheres to it good. But I've noticed on the other side there's more of a sharp curve like that. Oh, it's not so much this, but I noticed when I was at All Ford Day, there the Falcons had more curves like that over here. So the other side's good. It's this side. You see metal starting to come through there, so metal there. So I'll have to just put a little bit more of a curve in there. So I'll get a bit of piece of paper, a template, and I'll get the other side, and I'll match it to this. So just put a little bit of filler in here just to get that looking better. But what I'll do now, I'll give it a hit of this wax and grease and move and see how it comes out. It's just like, you can't tell with GoPro, it just sucks. I can see it, but yeah, it looks really good. The critical areas that I'm concerned about, places like this, but it's nothing. It's just a matter of filling in the areas, putting another coat of poly on it, do this, repeat the process. I could put a bit of body filler in there. It probably saved me a lot of time, because there's a chance that I put another coat of poly on and it won't fill those areas in. I don't know. I'll just have to. I know here it's going to need a bit of filling to just get that more of a line coming out the back here, but yeah, it's coming along really good. Happy. One of the things I'm concerned about with this car, it's always been something that's playing on my mind, is how straight the panels are and the body line, because the passenger side it had pretty dramatic side swipe damage. Driver's side's not too bad, so the best thing I gather I should do is concentrate on the driver's side, get as close as I can to being where I like it. And one of the ideas that was to go on the all-4 day was to get a indication about the body lines and that sort of stuff, and I'm probably about 90% on track. Just a couple of little things here and there that I need to tidy up. So in regards to this body line, I've got this spline, don't know which number it is because it's number, don't know, number 7, yeah, just see it there. So what I've been doing, I've done this in the past, got the sandpaper there so it grips nice and well, and I started from the door because the door is pretty original, so start from the door, and I worked my way back, and I've got a permanent marker, and I marked a line. So you get a perfectly straight line that goes from the front of the door and works its way back to the rear quarter. And now that I've sanded this to 220, it's because it's so smooth, it gives you a good idea about, you know, you can see the panel, you can see what it's doing. So I just noticed then, I was just looking at the reflection here, and I noticed there was a bit of where the line goes across here, there's a bit of a high spot where the body line's gone up and gone down. So what I've done, I didn't need to use this again because you still see the permanent marker under it. So what I've done, I just got my 220, which isn't ideal, it's 100% ideal for body lines, but I figured I can keep it nice and flat, and I was just moving across, just carefully doing bit by bit, blowing it down, looking at it, and just from doing that I've noticed that, yeah, it's just the body line marries up almost 100% with this permanent marking line. And I know you can cover it up a bit when I put the GS stripe across the side here. It's sort of, because the stripe is perfectly straight, it's sort of, it might work in my favour if it wasn't like right, but I figured I'm at this point now, I'm looking at it, I've got something to go off. Because I know this is a big thing when it comes to restorations, is when you don't get this body line right, it sticks out like dog paws. And unfortunately, I've noticed other cars where you go to car shows and that, and you look in the reflection, you can see faults, and you're like, wow, it's. If I was paying tens of thousands of dollars and get someone to do this sort of thing for me, you'd want it to be done right. But obviously, yeah, there's a lot of time involved, but I'm pretty happy. I reckon that's pretty good now. So the next stage will be putting heaps of polyfiller on, spray primer on there again. Hey guys, it's 11th of December, Saturday morning. My son's crook, so I leave him in the house by himself, plus I don't want to get his cold. So yeah, perfect conditions today. It's not raining. I've been slowly building up the confidence to turn the boost right up and to drive this car, and yesterday I thought bugger it, the conditions were good, road was dry, temperatures are good. So I got these Yokohama Advanced AO48s, so they're really sticky tyre. I mean, some people say they're not good for the street, but they got like 80 tread wear, so they're really, they're sort of like the Toyo R888s. But they're really sticky tyre. So yesterday I thought bugger it, so I turned the boost right up, went for a drive, quiet location, and yeah, it pulls so hard. I've never it's like that film when you're on a roller coaster and you feel like your blood's rushing to one point of your body. It felt like that. It felt like a dizzy effect. It pulls so hard. So those tyres, once you get a bit heated on them, they're not too bad, but ideally I need to get Mickey Thompson drag radials. I've got Mickey Thompson's full slicks for it, but in order to sit in dragway, you got to have radial tyres front and back. You can't add ply, sidewall tyres and radials in the front. So yeah, so I took the Escort for drive yesterday, gave it a flogging, blown away by how much performance it's got, and then I thought I'd go to this place in Beresford called Pit Crew. They sell all speed flow, heaps of, it's like an old school shop like you go to years ago, carburetor bits and pieces, Holly and stuff. Really good. The dude's a legend. He's helped me out a lot, heaps of advice. But I went there and I bought this copper coat stuff. Absolutely love this stuff. That stuff's what's it called? Musk, that's it, Musk. That, and I've got this other, I don't know what this is. Black Aqua, yeah, that's it. I bought these two types a while ago. I've run out, but it's really good. You can use it like armor oil, but it's non-static, so you don't get the all the shit doesn't stick to it as much, but it keeps the gloss for a while. Beautiful smell. Then I got this ducting 4-inch pipe turbo, but it turned to shit after that. I went out, popped the hood of the Escort to have a look at this, and then I realised, oh yeah, yep, that'll be perfect. So I was about to go back inside and get this off him, and then I looked at the timing belt, and I left this circlip on this timing belt pulley, and the pulley started to come off. So I'm like, shit, I can't risk driving the car home with a pulley belt and all that about to come off. So the Z-Tex without modified cams, the cam belt can come off and the valves don't kiss the pistons at all. But seeing I've got upgraded cams in it, yeah, I can't take the risk. So I had to stop it there and then. And so I was going to come home, get my car float, zip over, pick it up, and then the Escort sitting in the side of this main road, and I had people going past, taking photos, people slowing down, looking at it. Had dudes come up, talking to me and that. It's just like, yeah, I can't let this car here. It's not worth it. So I just called up the tow truck and, yeah, got it home. So then it only took me 15 minutes to fix it. All I had to do was press this bush back on and put a slare clip on it this time, like I was meant to in the first place. But, so, yeah, my son's inside now. He's asleep, so I'm going to let him be. But I'll get back to work on this recorder. So, going over my last video for the coupe I just uploaded, and Graham from XA Coupe Guy, he put in a valid point about this line where it goes in here and it sort of blends in. He said above this, so it does. It blends in around here, so that's how it's meant to be. I'm not meant to have it going right to here. That's where it's so misleading with these cars. They've been around for such a long time, and people have done stuff to them, to bring it back to their former glory, but they're not all the same, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's pretty hard to get a prime example, but Graham's obviously had a lot of these cars and he's restored many of them, so he knows them pretty well. There's a dude I bought this off to. I could have asked him. He's had like 90 of these. Buys and sells them and sends them overseas, so. But, it's right, I'll see what we can do with this now. I'll just put a video up of the Escort, what happened to it. It almost come off. The whole bearing, it slid off the bearing because I didn't put a circlip on it. Silly. Yeah, I made the decision yesterday to stop driving the Escort as much. If I want the car going for summer nights, I'm going to have to be realistic about looking after the car and not driving it as much at the moment. Because if anything goes wrong with it, it's this time of the year, you're not going to get anything for it, like replacements and parts, because just about everything now, you go to a auto store, they have to order it in. So, I broke the C4's transmission mount when I pulled the engine out of the Escort. I had the front of the gearbox propped up by a jack. The jacks fell out. It's tore this mount in half, so I got this trans gold one off eBay. They had these other polyurethane ones, but I thought, it's only going to have more vibrations for the car, so it only needs to keep the gearbox in one spot. So got that. I got this new speedo cable. But another issue I stuffed up with when I got the torque converter sent away, I forgot to lube up this torque converter, the snout bit where the seal goes on there. I didn't lube this up, and the bastard's leaking. Doesn't leak overly bad on the street, but when you get into it, it leaks a bit. So you see in here with this is a Coupe's gearbox, but see that seal right in there? Yeah, I think that's where it's leaking from. But apparently I got a lot of mixed opinions with the Escort C4. Like people saying it's only basically a factory box manualized, and people saying there's all mixed opinions about, that gearbox needs to be upgraded, it's going to blow up, and all these things wrong with them, the glass C4 transmission, all these comments. But the fact of the matter is, the Escort's like 400 kilos lighter than a typical Falcon. Plus, it might have 500 horsepower at the rear wheels, or probably 600 horsepower at the flywheel, but it's only got Well, at the back wheels, it's only got 490 newton meters of torque, and that's nothing. A 351, like an XY GT, is up around 510 newton meters at flyable. So the Escort, the engine, although it has a lot of horsepower, it hasn't got a real lot of torque. So I think the key to making this automatic transmission last that little bit longer is just preventing it from getting hot, and don't give it too long a burst in one hit. Which you probably don't anyway with drag racing, but the box is held up good. I've drained the fluid out of it. It's a little bit burnt, but I haven't changed it for 18 months. But there's no metal in it. That's the main thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the Escort. It's got the filler on now. It's pretty much gone off. It's gone past the tacky stage. Yeah, this 3M Platinum Select filler. It's so easy to sand off. It's just unreal. I really like it. So I'll send the list back, and then I'll give that boot another block. I've had 2 fairly good warm days, so yeah, it's gone off. It's been about 5 days or so since I've done it. So yeah, see how I'll go with it. Some of you might have wondered why I put masking tape around the filler. I'm trying to protect that area, because when you're sanding this, obviously you risk of getting a low spot around here. So I put tape there, and see where I've sanded through. They get the filler. You can see around here. Then you can see the paper there. So this will just peel straight off, or sand off. So I've almost got it down to the right spot now. So now I've just got to dress this area up and make that look nice and pretty. So I've got this looking pretty good now. It's got a sharp edge on it, but I'll worry about that later. But that marries up perfectly. So it's the same as the other side. That's what I was more concerned about. But yeah, it's beautiful now. It's really good. So what I've also been doing is measuring these gaps. So it's roughly, it's about 45 there, 45 there. It's roughly between, gets down to about 43 over here, but I'm probably being a bit critical. I know if I wanted to have the GT, like, you know, the GT style, and have it all blacked out around here, you wouldn't even see it probably. I noticed that at the all-4 day, like where they had this blacked out, you can't even tell with this. But the idea is you block it down, get the panel really straight, or straight as you can get it, and then you've got the you know, you've got a sharp edge around here. It's going to be accurate, easy to measure, and then you start the final process of doing very slow rubs and getting a nice edge. But it's too early for that. I'm just not keen to do that at this stage. But the custom garage, these are, if anyone that doesn't know, both rear quarters in this car were really badly rusted. So all this was rusted out, rust holes all around here. The inside was badly rusted out. So what I've had to do, I've got videos on this, I've chopped it out, chopped it right out, and then I've got this custom garage replacement arches, which are really good quality, heaps better than rare spare stuff. And you can see it. I've noticed the edge on this is a little bit sharper than the front. See, the front's original, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, you'd be an absolute nightmare if custom garage did make these sections trying to fix this up. This car was a perfect example of something that sat around for a long time, probably due to not being able to find decent rust replacement section. Just the volume of work would have been overwhelming for a lot of people, I guess. So so what I've done, I've replaced, so this is all custom garage arch around here, and I've had to, when it gets to about here, you sort of have to work around it yourself. So I made that myself. But then all this right up until about here is rare spares. Done that in both sides. And these seals, outer and inner seals, are also from Astle Design. So I've got everything for Astle Design. I didn't worry about going for rare spares. I know he's reliable. I could just order whatever I want. He's gives you plenty of advice. So yeah, so that's what's underneath all this paint and filler is replacement sections. So I'm almost at the point now where I can slap a coat of the polyester primer filler almost. I'm not quite there. So what I've been doing, I've just got one of these big splines. I've got all different sizes, but I've got this one here, number 7, and I've got permanent marker, and I already had a line on this door, but I continued the line across. I've messed it up here. I've got off target, but it's really good. So I got that. It's got a nice body line. But then I went over to the bottom here. Let's roll over a bit more. And you can see, you probably won't be able to see it in the GoPro, but it's a little bit wavy. So that indicates to me that there's a little bit of unevenness along here maybe. But what I'll do, like cat, she loves this car. When it's due time, I'll block this door again and see what it's doing, see what comes out of it, and I'll block under here again to see what the line wants to do. If the line starts to wander and move around and the spline's flat, then I'll know there's uneven height in this edge. And so I'll put a line right across here. Right across here. There's a little bit of a low spot there. I might put a little bit of filler in that before I put primer over it. So yeah, it's coming out really good. I just gotta watch the temperature now. It's only like 22 degrees, so it's borderline just warm enough to put the poly on. But the thing is, once it hits 21 degrees, sets a catalyst off in the primer, it just goes off reasonably quickly. Anything under it, and there she goes. Slides off the car. Yeah, so yeah, I might just fix this up and yeah, then go from there. But this cat, Puss, she crawls over the Escort, so I'll put the cover over it, but they crawl over the car and leave bloody footprints everywhere, so I have to keep it covered now. So yeah, cats. Almost ready now to give it a coat of epoxy. I've just got a couple little spots there I need to fix up. I think these ones there, they'll come out in the next coat of poly. Overall, it's looking pretty good. Just got to slow down now and not, go slapping coats of poly on and then realising, oh shit, I should have filled that in. Stuff like that. Got to fix that up. Tiny little holes. So got to go to a doctor's appointment now. And then I'll hopefully, if the weather holds up, rain stays away, yeah, I'll give this cat a poly. Panel's just about ready for the polyester primer. I'm expecting it to look freaking awesome because I put a lot of time into finding all the little nicks and little defects here and there, so it's going to look really good. The only thing that isn't going to look right is going to have the sharp edge around here. But yeah, this is definitely in the final stages of this panel. Yeah, it's I'll see how I go here. It's hard to tell if that's going to be perfect down there or not. And I can't finish off this properly. It needs to put that rear valance on it to get it to marry up. I had it pretty close before, but I can't do it now, having this rotisserie bolted up. So that's something I can worry about later. But I've taped up the areas where it hasn't been sanded. Because yeah, I just asked for trouble. It's likely to come off in time. So tape up the areas I don't want it. Overspray. So I'm undecided. I've got this spray gun off eBay. $40. It's got a 2mm fluid tip. It's got its own little regulator. I've tried to turn the pressure up pretty high. Try to atomize the paint, and it just I thought being a 2mm fluid tip, it'd be pretty good, because the developers I got here, it's got 1.4, 1.6, and 1.8. I was running the 1.8 with no thinner at all, and it was coming out pretty good, but I could tell the gun was struggling, so I have the option of adding 10% thinner. I will this time. Last time I done it, it seemed to get sort of like a weird sort of colour in the paint, like a shiny then dull. I just didn't look right, but I'll do it again because I recommend it. Apparently it's right to do. So I bought this off eBay for $20 because the original DeFilbus, catcher is like it's way expensive. So this took 6 weeks. So whilst I was waiting on this to come through the mail, I bought this, and this turned up like in no time at all. So I was thinking I could use primer in that now, but then every time I use this, I'm having to pull it apart. It needs a good clean anyway. I might just do it with this gun for the sake of having this look awesome, to show you guys just how good this product is. But yeah, I'll give you a show of this in the defilbers, just so you know, giving it the best chance of it coming out good. And yeah, we'll see how it comes out. So what I'll do now, I've got this wax and grease remover. I'll give it a really good clean, get rid of all any contaminants on the primer, so make sure it's nice and clean and ready. Here's the result. I couldn't use the defilbers, so I bloody misplaced one of the fluid tips just so I could run a 1.8. I don't know what I've done with it. So I went back to this eBay gun. I tried using 10% terps to thin out this resto finish poly primer, and yeah, it didn't. It would not mix properly. It sort of separate. It wouldn't mix. So I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. But I ended up just using the eBay gun, turn the pressure right up, and it did seem to help a fair bit. It's not as orange peely. It still is orange peely, but I think that's just part of the just using a thicker product, you know. Use a primer, and they call it extremely high billing, so I'd have to go to a 2.4 fluid tip, I reckon, if I want to get it looking better. But either way, you can see it. I don't know how well you can see it in the GoPro, but it looks really good. Apart from the orange peel, it looks really good. It's got its shape. But the main areas I was concerned about is all up around here. So I reckon that's pretty good. I'll know it when I go to block it with 220 again. That's when it'll, you know, if there's anything that I'm not happy with, it's going to bring it out. So it's currently about, I think it's like 21 degrees at the moment. It's starting to cool down, so it'll start going off, but it won't go off properly till probably tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's basically 24, but today was mainly meant to be 22, but got up to 25, so yeah. I'll wrap it up for this video, guys. I'm sort of limited to what I can do at the moment because my son, I think he's starting to get a chest infection. He's starting to cough up green crap, so that's a bit of a concern. So I'll have to go and talk to his mum and see what she reckons. But yeah, he may have to go to a doctor and get on antibiotics by the looks of it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the positive feedback I'm getting. I appreciate it. But I'm hoping this helps people out with their projects and gives them a bit of an idea about you know, the process involved and how I do it. Everyone's got different ways of doing it, no matter what you well, no matter what videos you watch or who you talk to. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.